Project is a coaching and consulting firm specializing in personal and leadership development for adult Black males, seeking to break the vicious cycle of missed potential so that they themselves transform their personal lives, their sense of leadership to their families, and their legacies that they want to leave for business and culture. We destroy this cycle on two fronts. We confront both the institution and the individual. We address the institution because, according to the statistics, Black males are under assault and are targeted for extinction in ways that their white counterparts are not. We are over-incarcerated and under-educated. There are systems in place, political systems, media systems, and religious systems that serve as intentional, or some say unintentional, barriers to the Black male's advancement. As a result, we work to raise public awareness about issues confronting Black males, promote healthy and positive images about Black males, curate spaces to share information and resources about programs, services, and support for Black males, support knowledge creation and dissemination around these issues, and provide a forum for Black males to both speak and act for themselves. We address the individual Black male because we cannot avoid personal responsibility. We are now overmothered and underfathered. We make bad social choices, and we avoid responsibility for getting ourselves out from under the social plight that we face. We will develop the moral compass and character necessary to face the adverse realities that are faced in everyday life. We live by the premise that even that which is not our fault is still our responsibility. In 2019, we answered the call to transform the culture one man at a time. Our society, our families, and men in particular are in a state of crisis. And the goal of the Remand Project is to curate the largest, strongest, and dopest community of Black males in the entire world. We then create awareness and action against the institutional and individual impediments that exist against the foundation of our culture and overall society, which is the Black male. What's up, people? Good afternoon to you, to Lottie Dottie and everybody. I'm Donald Morton, and it's good to see y'all today. I pray that everything is well and that you are experiencing God's best today. I know that I am. It's a great day today. Having a little funky attitude going on with my Facebook Live going into our community. So, brothers, if you are not seeing the stream, let me do that. Let me do that, and then let me come back in. We'll take it over for a minute, man, and let me fix this.
Well, good morning, good people. Welcome to the Braveheart Bible Study with your host, Donald Morton, and me, your co host, Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr. We want to say welcome to every Lottie Dottie, as they say, Lottie Dottie and everybody that's up in here. We want to thank y'all for taking this time out on your Sunday afternoon, because you could have been anywhere else, but you decided to come hang with a couple of brothers that have or that are unashamedly in love with the Lord, and just wanted to come and spend a little time here talking about Black men and the Bible, dealing with the this perspective of the scripture, because I'll guarantee you're not going to get this perspective in church or anywhere else, because it is specifically geared towards you as Black men and the word that we deal with, the source, if you will, here in the what we call it too, also here in the Mecca, how we deal with um, the different topics that we talk about here, the different scriptures that we cover in here. This Sunday is no different than any other. We're gonna have something that is what I call it's Sunday soul food. You used to go to your grandma's house and she used to fix that food, that good food that you after you ate it, you had to sit for a minute, take a nap, and take a nap afterwards. you know that kind of food that sticks to your soul, and hopefully what we do here on Sunday gives you the ability to be able to carry you through the week, so that you have something to reflect on, something that you have to be able to go back over. You can think about what the word that you heard, and you can for sure yourself go back over the scriptures that we talk about here. Take notes and go back over the scriptures that we talk about. That's the one thing that I learned, bruh. It is about this thing called Christianity and this thing called church that we're in, that a lot of people want to place and put their pastors on this pedestal, like they don't say anything wrong or that they can't disagree with the pastor. But I'm here to tell you, yes, you should be questioning what the pastor says. You should be questioning what we say, and you should be reading it for yourself, because you have to have your relationship with God. It ain't my relationship. Is not Donald's relationship. It is your relationship that you have with God. And anybody that knows anything about a relationship, you don't develop a relationship by just saying, "Hey, yeah, I hang out with him when I hang out with him." You don't get that. You get when you develop and nurture and cultivate a relationship when you spend time with somebody. That's anybody, and God is no different. You got to spend some time with him. So this is our gathering place where you can come spend some time with us, but the main premise points to God Himself, and where you spend some time with Him to learn more about Him, and hopefully at the end of the day become closer with Him, to closer with Him and to Him, bro. So
Yeah, yeah, without question. Powerfully spoken. Listen, y'all, do me a favor, like, share, comment, tag some people, let them know that the Braveheart Bible study is on. It is an extension of Remand. Um, and we hope that you guys are sharing it with someone. Again, the feed is acting funky. Doesn't want to let me be great today. So I'm going to be sharing it inside of Remand, inside the community, because it won't, for whatever reason today, it won't live stream inside. So let me send it in the group, because I'm gonna get it in there one way or the other. Uh, all right, did that. Let's see who else might want to hear. Let's see. Yeah, let me put it in there too. I'm putting it in a bunch of places. I'm showing up like
exactly.
a cousin on Christmas. You ain't seen me, but I'm here. Cousin at the barbecue. You ain't seen me, but I'm here. I'm here to eat. Right? Yeah, I'm here to eat. So good afternoon. What's up, Dwight? Good to see you, man. As you guys come in, do me a favor, like, share, tag some people, let them know that we are on the air. If you're watching us on Instagram, what's happening? What's happening, my friend? Good to see you. Um, Thank you for hanging out with me today. And if you're hanging out on YouTube, what's up? No matter where you are hanging out from, we want to say what's up to you. Karen, good to see you, sis. Thank you for hanging out with us. Um, yeah, it's a good day. Libra, how's your weekend been so far, man?
It's been quiet, relatively quiet. I've been working on just some projects that I got to get out for some go get completed with some clients, and then my project as well too. That's been
What's your
what my
project?
agendas.
What's your project?
Oh,
Do you want to let the
oh,
people
you had
you want to let the
the
people know?
Yeah, the book Unleash Your Entrepreneurial Excellence. It is in pre-order now. You can pre-order the book. I'm telling you this, if you are an entrepreneur and you want to operate in excellence and you're looking for ways to be able to, principles that will guide you and help you to be able to have the structure and order that you want with you, your business, and your brand, this book is absolutely for you. I want you to be excited. I want you because that's been my theme all year, bro. It's been unleash who it is that you are as an entrepreneur, and allow who it is that you're meant to be able to be, and operating at the absolute best
Yeah.
of that pinnacle, and operating at excellence. Because you know that one of my PVSs is excellence.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, man. I wanted you to be able to talk about your new project, about your new book. You so freaking faithful to remain. Uh, yeah, yeah. Dwight said, drop a link. You have a link?
Oh, yeah, I'll put it in the chat there once I
Yeah,
get a chance to. I'm
drop a
here where I am
link
right now. Yeah,
so that people can, I'm assuming, pre-order,
yeah, yep.
right? And they'll get unleashed in coming to your mailbox. It'll be coming to your mailbox. I remember uh, Leroy's, not his last, I'm sure, I don't know whether it was his last book that he did, but I, of course, ordered it. And I was like a kid at Christmas. It came in the mail, ripped it open, read it, right? So I'm really, really excited about this one as well. Walter Quincy Sellers. What's up, man? Good to see you, my guy.
Pretty Ricky, what they call him.
Oh, pretty nigga. Oh, pretty nigga. Good to see you, man. Good to see you, coach. Uh, White, yeah, he's gonna drop a link. he, he said facts. He said facts. They do call him. Yeah, yeah. Um, I too have had a pretty uneventful weekend. Let me just say this before we get into the Bible study, man. And for those of you that are wanting to know, we're going to be in Mark chapter 5 today. Mark chapter 5. Um, I am in a space of extreme gratitude. And I'm just in a space where I'm grateful, man.
Mhm.
Put a one in the chat if you guys have ever been in a space or are now in a space where everything ain't perfect, you know, but you grateful. Like I'm grateful for where I am. I'm grateful for a roof over my head. I'm grateful for the lights being on. I'm grateful for clothes on my back. Yeah, y'all mess with me today. I might mess around and that's a Baptist feeling I'm feeling down in my sanctified soul. Yeah, Dwight said one. Like I'm just grateful, man. I'm grateful for my wife. I'm grateful for my children. I'm grateful for the relationships that I have. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for Coach. I'm grateful for Dwight. I'm grateful for Avis. Jalima. Like I'm just grateful, man. Because the truth of the matter is, back in the day, Leroy, they used to sing this song, man. He didn't have to let me live.
Yes,
He didn't
sir.
have to let me live, but I'm glad to be in the service. One
One
more
more time.
time. y'all
One
don't
more time.
y'all
They
don't
don't
y'all,
get it. They don't get it, bro. Because here's the beautiful thing about what you just said, bro. Is that not everybody woke up this morning.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna say that again for y'all. Not everybody woke up this morning.
For sure.
So, like you said, I'm grateful that
Yeah,
my number was not called last
yeah,
night.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm grateful my number wasn't called. I'm grateful that and I just declare stuff like this out of my mouth. I'm gonna die on empty. I'm gonna die on
Mm,
empty, right?
mm,
So
mm.
whatever it is that I still have to do, I need
Yep.
God just to push that time because I'm gonna die on empty. I'm gonna make sure that I give God my all. I'm gonna leave it all on the field. Um, I got brothers that I gotta reach, uh, and I am finding out that there are different members of the body, different members of the kingdom that have different assignments, different ways to approach. I'm just the guy, I'm an in your face kind of guy. Everybody can't handle that. Everybody don't like that. You know, you need a little more docile kind of cat. And I'm okay with that, right? That we I got some friends I can send you to. But if you want to foot in your behind, if you want to meet chest to chest, if you want to put them up and throw them, I'm that guy. I'm that guy, right? You might hear some taboo language. You might hear me cuss you out. You might hear me use cuss words every time. And if you can't handle that, it's okay. Like I ain't mad at you. It's fine. Um, but what I can assure you of is that my relationship with God is intact. In fact,
Mm,
boy, let me tell you this, man. My relationship with God, bro, this is gonna sound strange, right? But my relationship with God now is more solid than it was when I was pastoring.
hmm hmm What can I ask you a question?
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Why? Okay. Well, the statement you just did. Why do you think it's? What's the difference between then when you were pastoring and now that faith has gotten stronger?
Because at that time I had a relationship with God for the people,
Mhm,
right? I'm reading the Bible because I got to preach on Sunday. I'm reading the Bible because
uh,
I got to minister on Wednesday. I'm reading the Bible because I was
mhm,
preaching across the country, right?
mhm.
Now everybody gets the overflow of my relationship with God. I ain't doing it for you. I ain't doing it for coach. I ain't doing it for Dwight. I ain't doing it for any client.
You.
I'm doing
Mhm,
it for me so that when my cup runs over, you guys can get what's in the saucer. Like
mhm.
you can't have what's in my cup. I think a lot of us spend a lot of time letting people drink from our cup.
do, do you think that that's why a lot of pastors become burned out because everybody's drinking from the cup versus like you
Absolutely,
were
bro.
just saying versus the overflow?
Absolutely, bro. And they can't find, they can't replenish fast enough
Mhm,
because it takes
mhm.
a minute to replenish.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
And you know, by the time they're replenished, they got to give it all out again.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
they got to give it out at midweek. They got to give it out at prayer service. They got to give it out at Sunday school. They got to give it out at counseling. They got to give it out, right? Dealing with the musicians. They got to give it out. Dealing with therapy or counseling their members. They got to give it, give it, give it, give it, give it.
yeah,
And
yeah,
no one ever
yeah.
considers. This is what I'm telling you as a pastor. I was a veteran. I'm a veteran. I will tell you that very few people are concerned about the pastor's well-being.
Yeah, for
As
sure.
long as he
That's
is
for sure.
performing, people don't care
Yeah.
about the pastor's well-being. And my mom used to always say to me, "Hey son, slow down." I was like,
Hmm.
"Mom, I got to get it done." She said, "Slow down." I
Yeah.
said, "Why do you always say that?" She said, "Because people will kill you.
Yeah.
They will march past your casket and tell the people, don't he look like himself? And then we'll
Yeah.
have another pastor next week. Slow down."
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And my mom was the kind of person, bruh, where she would say, I say, "Hey, Precious, what you doing?" She said, "Laying across my bed watching Gunsmoke." I said, "Shouldn't you be out somewhere saving somebody?" She's like, "I'm laying across my bed watching Gunsmoke." right? So
It's
I think I think as leaders, we have the responsibility to make sure that we are good first. It's not selfish, it's self-full. It's not selfish, it's self-full. Go ahead, man.
Nah, man, you just said something that I think that pastors, entrepreneurs, that they don't think about, bro. Because and we say this in the business realm. You say coaches need coaches. You
Yes.
know, it's someone to kind of alleviate where they can alleviate their stress from.
Yes.
Pastors are the same way. Who pastors the pastor? Who can the pastor go to
Yes.
in order to be able to relieve his or her stress,
Yes.
because they're getting everybody, and I've said this, everybody's piling up on them.
Yes.
And there has to be a release for them. Because pastors take on a lot, just like entrepreneurs take on a lot. And if that's your everyday consumption, is nothing but
Yeah. Yeah.
everybody's piling on their problems. You got to have a release for that.
Yeah. 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 For
And,
sure.
and I and I think that a lot of pastors don't take the time because, like you just said, they think, oh, that's selfish. No, that
Yeah.
should be a part of your routine. That should be a part of your what you do is
Yeah.
to regularly, consistently have. Because when you in the military, they have what was called debriefing, right?
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
the men that are out on assignments, when they come in from that assignment, they got to debrief. They got to
Yeah.
debrief. They have to have time to. I believe policemen need to have that too, bro. They need to have every year. You can't tell me that there should be a time that a policeman does not do have an evaluation. I don't care if it's a year, 2 years. That every so often they need to be having evaluations, and pastors should be doing that too, where they check in with somebody.
Yeah.
You got everybody checking in with you, but you're not checking in with nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody's saying, and I'm actually adamant about doing that because everybody wants to run to my pastor and oh this. And I truly ask him whenever I get the opportunity to be able to talk to him, how you doing, pastor?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and it's not that I know I get it. How you doing, pastor? And I'll ask him
Yeah.
again
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I know he has a lot of weight on him.
Yeah.
Not now that he's moving, he's transitioning out, and it's good to see him that all of that hard work that he has done over the years, that he's poured into us, that now he gets the opportunity to have people to sit back and not have that all of that pressure on
Yes.
him now.
Yes.
He can actually relax because he's on vacation.
Yes.
For the month of August, he's always done that. But he said this morning, because he preached this morning, he had the opportunity, he said, in a long time to just all he did, he said during the vacation, him and First Lady, they would they just relaxed. They went to church,
Yeah.
but it wasn't a thing where he had to do a sermon.
Yeah.
He just went to church and
Yeah.
enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And pastors, don't forget, don't let that slide by. Find someone that you can that can help you, that you can go to release your pressure.
And it,
Because
it
it
it really it really I mean that's a very interesting take, right? Because it really has to be someone that understands.
right, right.
And pastors are lonely, and
Hmm.
pastors are committing suicide at very high
Yeah,
levels in ways that
for
we
real.
committed suicide because we're lonely, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
That old phrase that it's lonely at the top, it is.
Hmm.
It is
Hmm.
because you can't talk to the members about it. They don't, and they will want to understand, but they don't understand.
Right,
They
correct.
don't understand. It's not that they're bad people, right? And
Hmm.
it's not that they
Hmm.
don't understand. It's like they can't get it until you like you and I, we are entrepreneurs, we're business owners, right? We know what it is at this level. But as I really stay short and shy of talking heavy about presidents when they're in that seat because I ain't never been in it.
Hmm. Yeah. Whoo!
I cannot
For
like
real, for real.
policy. I cannot like a whole lot of stuff, right? But I ain't been in that seat
At that,
Yeah.
when you talk about heavy is the head that wears the crown, I mean that
Yes,
is
sir.
the epitome of that, right? That's the embodiment of that. And so I think what Leroy is saying is just really so important. Uh, and ask open-ended questions
Hmm.
that require your pastor to tell you something. Don't just say how you doing, pastor, because
Right.
Leroy has enough sense to say, now for real, how you doing,
Right.
right? But if you ask questions that are open-ended that draw conversation, then you can really hear what a pastor is really dealing with. Asking what you been doing lately, pastor?
Hmm. Hmm.
Ask a
Yep.
question that makes him think about a response, and other
Yeah.
than I'm good, because we good for
Right.
that.
Right.
Good, I'm good statement, right? Coach
Yeah.
said, yup, and a lot of people turn to food or other vices instead,
Yeah.
something that adds days to their lives, right? And
Yep.
so that's very true. Let me say this: anything can be a vice.
Hmm.
Quite frankly, working out can be a vice. You can
Hmm.
sedate through working out,
Right.
right? When you don't want to face what's really going on, you can sedate through working out. So I know guys who you know who go to the gym, and the gym is their mechanism to sedate. It's a sedation
Hmm.
mechanism.
Yeah.
Let me just
Yeah.
calm the savage beast. I'm gonna go home and deal with her when I need to deal with her. But right now, that's why these niggas out here so big. They big because they running from their wives. They don't want, you know.
But man, but
Yeah.
so many people, like you said, so many people run to things to escape.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
know, to keep from having to deal with those issues, man. And that is
Yes.
so true.
Yes.
And that was the one thing that I said that this pandemic, I think, taught people, and I knew it would come, was people weren't able to run away. They were not able. You can't run away from yourself. You had to spend 24 and 7 with yourself.
Yeah.
You couldn't go anywhere. Like you said, you couldn't go to the gym. You
Yeah.
couldn't go and hang out at the restaurant or the bar or the happy hour. You couldn't. None of that was available for you.
Yeah. For
You
sure.
had to sit with you.
For sure. For
You
sure.
know, and that's a dangerous. That can be a dangerous place for some folks, bro.
Yeah.
You know.
It can be. And so we definitely want you guys to be healthy, right? To be whole, to be strong. And I'm going to use Coach's comment just to kind of launch what we need to talk about. But before I do, we're going to Mark chapter 5. You guys will remember we're going to Mark chapter 5. But before I do, you will see scrolling at the bottom of your screen, the Remain, Rise, and Reclaim Gala. It used to be called Heart and Soul of a Man. I found out that it was not resonating with people in the way that I really wanted it to. Coach says if men don't attack their issues in their mind, Coach, stay out my lesson, bro. Stay out my lesson. I don't get out my lesson. If men don't attack their issues in their mind, then they just become bigger, stronger, hurt people. Until you unlock and break the chains in your mind, you will not grow into the man that you can become. Absolutely true. Absolutely true. Right. And so and so I need you guys to and I'll talk more about the Remand Gala in just one moment. Go to www.remandgala.com, get your ticket, order a table. Um, it's the day we make an announcement to the world. It's the day that we create a sound. One of my favorite scriptures, Leroy, in the Bible is in Genesis. The Bible says they heard God walking in the garden. They
In the
heard him,
garden. Hmm.
right? And I always ask God when I had a question about that text, I said, how they hear a spirit? He said, when your spirit walks heavy enough,
Mm.
Leroy.
Woo-wee.
When your spirit walks heavy enough, a sound is created. Like there is a sound, Leroy, for when something moves fast enough and it breaks the barrier. There's a sound, that there's a boom that's created.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah, that will resonate, man. So that's the reason why I took some personal liberty and changed it. The rise and reclaim. There's a sound. Hey, Karen, I don't know if you are putting in emojis, but we can't see them. We can see your name, but we can't see anything that you are posting. So thank you for posting. Thank you for hanging out with us on Sundays. Um, but it's a call of action to every single man. Saturday, October the 19th is the day that you step up and into. It's the day that you rise up and you reclaim your rightful position. And we're going to talk about that today. And I want to use, let's see, yes, saying hello. Okay. Hey, Karen, good to see you. Thank you for hanging out with us, sis. I want to go back, Leroy, to what Coach said. I think it's an important launch place for what we need to talk about today. If men don't attack their issues in their mind, right, they will become bigger, stronger, hurt people. So I think what he says is so key, that what you are seeing in men is big, strong, hurt people. Right? Like it's amazing to me. Coach and I laugh about this all the time because you know, Coach. All right, Coach, I'll send you an invite. So Leroy. Let's see. There we go. Leroy, what we are seeing is guys who are, Coach and I laugh all the time. Coach, you called him Pretty Ricky earlier, and we know Coach is 6 something, and he's a world-class bodybuilder and all those kinds of things, right? But I have always held this, and I don't say it to throw shade. I've always held this position, right? And that position, Leroy, is I am not impressed by that. I'm never impressed by the external. I'm impressed by his accomplishments, his achievements, and I celebrate those things, right? But I've always said to him, he'll tell you when he gets on, I've always said to him, you more than that, bro. You more than that. What happens if that goes away?
Mm-hmm.
Right? What happens? God forbid something happens, all that goes away. You can't lift like you used to lift. You gotta find something deep in you that is more than that.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm never just overly impressed by the external stuff. Yeah. I'm impressed by the root. Hopefully the root of the external stuff is the internal stuff. Yeah. And go ahead, man. I'm hoping that we can really talk about that today. Go ahead, Leroy. Look like you want to say something about that.
Well, you made me think, and I don't know if you remember it. I'm quite sure you saw it. If not, we're taking your black card. But the movie.
Well, you be ready to take my black card.
But I'm hoping the Spike Lee movie Mo Better Blues.
Oh yeah.
About Bleak.
Who is Denzel in Mo Better Blues?
It was Bleak. He was Bleak. Bleak Gilly.
Bleak Gilly.
He was Bleak.
Yeah.
He played this character Bleak, and the character Cindy Williams. She asked him in the movie, "What would you do if you could not play?" I believe it was her. I don't think it was Joy. I don't think it was his sister. I think it was the other woman. She asked him, "What would you do if you could not play anymore?"
Yeah, bro.
And he said, I don't know. He said, I would curl up and die, something like that. He said, I wouldn't really exist.
Yeah.
And he was saying that this is all I know. This is all I do. And if I can't do, if this, he allowed his music to define him
Yeah, bro.
and be who it was that he was. And really quick, it stemmed from when he was a little boy,
Yeah.
and all his mother did was make him practice. He wanted to go outside. No,
Yep.
you finish practicing first, you know, then you can think about going outside.
I got
And
to
he
finish
took
practice.
right.
Oh man, his little boy was like, "Come on, man." Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
his mother didn't allow him to be a kid. And
yeah,
he took that into his adulthood, that the
yeah,
only thing that defined him was his music.
yeah, for
So
sure.
yeah, we are more than this. Like you said, we're the three men that you see here, we're more than just entrepreneurs.
Yeah, for
That
sure.
doesn't define who we are. We
Sure.
are men, as Donald says, we are men of character. That is
Absolutely,
what defines us.
absolutely, absolutely,
So
bro.
so we can't get caught up in allowing these external things to make us who we are, man. Not at
Yeah,
all. Not
yeah.
at all.
What's up, Coach?
What's up, brothers?
What's going on with you, man?
In the building.
On the grind.
You on the
Building out these
grind?
new programs, and I got one of my friends that with mutual black-owned businesses in the area. She owns a physical therapy office, and they have a community day at her location. She asked me to come down and set up a table just to kind of give it some more color in the area.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
promises, because she'll be here for my my 1 year anniversary and
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of share
yeah.
with clients and stuff. So
yeah.
Hey, coach, is your place is it open every day?
no,
Or is there
no, 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 no,
Yeah.
no. On the seventh day, he
rested? Absolutely.
not
Okay.
that I rest, but I need to not be around people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Got you.
for sure.
Got you.
All right,
Gotcha.
brothers, let's look at Mark chapter number 5, and I want to show you something. This is the reason why Coach, what you said became really, really important. Two things that you said. You talked about how men or people turn to food, and you specifically said other vices instead of something that adds days to their lives. Those things can be consuming, right? Even the things that we start out as just kind of, let me try this one time, and then after a while you find yourself being consumed by that thing. And it doesn't just have to be food. It can be alcohol. It can be like I said, exercise. For brothers, it can be sex. You smashing everybody around, right? You up in everybody because you're attempting to kind of anesthetize what you're really dealing with. It can be the need for attention. I remember I had a need for attention. That's how I got myself in so much trouble. I just needed attention, and there was nothing like that. I ain't want no attention from no dude. I wanted attention from women, right? I needed a woman to say to me that I was the greatest thing since sliced bread. And that came from having a mom who told me I was the greatest thing since sliced bread. I didn't have a dad to balance that and say, hey, bruh, humble yourself. I didn't have that, right? So I had a mom who gave me whatever I needed to have. I had a great, phenomenal mother. She always told me that I was great. She never hammered me or anything like that. So when it came time for anyone to celebrate me, there was a particular tone that I listened for. And that tone was from a woman. I needed a woman to tell me that because I was used to my mom telling me that. And that's why the relationships that I had, gentlemen, didn't become, they didn't start out sexual relationships. They didn't. They started out as friendships, right? Of people who genuinely appreciated me. And then because I didn't have any, Leroy talked about character. I didn't have any. So I didn't know how to keep that in its place. I let that bleed. And all I could hear was a woman saying, you know, you're a really good guy. You're a really good guy. You're a really good guy. And after a while, and if you don't hear that, I heard it from my mom, But if you don't hear that from your significant other, or you don't hear that from, right, you listen for that. And so fortunately now, I'm a man of unquestionable character. Like people tell me I'm great all the time. That's great, but they don't really know me, right? They just know me from the work that I do. There are some that know me, but I think it's important to genuinely not read your own headlines, right? Don't drink your own Kool-Aid. Be real clear. So that's part number one. In Mark chapter 5, it's the story of a dude who is dealing with his own demons, right? And I think all of us here know what it is to deal with demons, right? I'm not talking, for those of you that are watching, allow me some license for a moment, because I'm not talking about you possess like The Exorcist. It's just not, because I know you saints are waiting to say, well, if you filled with the Spirit of God, then you cannot be possessed. You can be oppressed, but you can't. I'm not talking to you. Just in fact, that's you. Just get off my live. Go ahead. Go on about
They
you.
throwing the holy water on their phone right now.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the brothers and the sisters who are in relationships with brothers who recognize that your dude is struggling with something. When I'm talking about demons, I'm talking about that. He can't get out of this cycle that he's in, right? And it can be addiction, it can be women, it can be a number of things that brothers working. Believe it or not, Coach just talked about, he said, no, I don't work 7 days a week. There are brothers who work 7 days a week. And sometimes I'm one of them. That is one of the things that I'm working on in my own life. That is a demon. That's a demon that I fight, right? And so he has these demons. And, Jesus comes in Mark chapter 5, says, then they came to the other side of the sea, the country of the Gadarenes. And when he had come out of the boat, immediately there met him out of the tombs a man with an unclean spirit. A man with an unclean spirit, right? And it says, who had his dwelling among the tombs, and no one could bind him, not even with chains. This dude is wilding. Now, if you don't like the term demons, I'm okay with that. But do you know a man in your life that's wilding? Nobody can contain him. Nobody can calm him. Nobody can tell him what to do. Let's talk about that for a while. Leroy, you can start first, man. Then Coach, you can go right after Leroy. Again, we're not talking about, Leroy, we're not talking about demons. We're talking about fighting these things that have grips and holds on us as brothers, fighting his demons. And he's wilding, like he's out there doing whatever he wants to do, knocking off women, killing people, smoking, hanging out all night, cheating on his wife, right? Not there for his kids, just wilding. What do you say to the brothers out there that are just wilding?
Well, and I like the term that you use, because a lot of folks, I guess, they get, upset or whatever when you use certain words or whatever and stuff like that. But if you want to call it, wilding, you don't have to call it demons. You can call it strangleholds. There's something about that individual, that man, that is wilding out, that something has a stranglehold on him that is causing him to act in a particular way. And the reason he's wilding out is because he doesn't know what that thing is, and he doesn't know how to deal with it. When we had the writing and everything like that, I believe it was Dr. King that said that writing is the voice of the
Language of the
unheard,
unheard. Absolutely.
angry of the unheard. So when
Absolutely.
you have a brother that has this wilding out in him, and he doesn't know how to deal with it. And that's where we, to me, that, and y'all can speak on this too, that's where we have the chaos in the community that we are part of. Why we have the chaos in the community that we are part of, because us as black men don't understand how to handle the stranglehold, and haven't come to the place where we seek those that can help us to understand how to handle the stranglehold. It's just like someone that comes to coach, and I'm gonna toss it to you. Someone that says, "Coach," they come to Coach. I'm overweight, and I don't know what I need to do, and I need you to help me to understand how to get my weight under control. They're coming there and they acting out eating because of whatever it is that they deal with. And coach, you might be able to talk with this, that usually if someone may be dealing with an eating, I don't want to say disorder, but just overeating and everything like that, there's an underlying reason why they're doing that. And they don't get to that core of it. And that's why they come to you. They say, "Hey coach, I need you to understand that." So I'm gonna toss it to you and let you talk about it if you can.
So I certainly agree that there's typically an underlying issue, and mm, mm, so we said that it's a riot is the voice of the unheard, right? It's how people act out, right? Well, unfortunately, with black men, the riot is here in our mind
Mm,
because
yes, sir.
we lack. I won't say we aren't shown how to be heard. I'm unheard, I'm unheard, I'm unheard. But how do you articulate what it is that you need to get out in order to be heard? That is the problem. And what has happened in our community is a systemic breakdown because we don't have enough active black fathers in our lives to show us how to be heard as men without exacting violence, without exacting sex, without all the things that Don laid out for us. It's how do we formulate the words to get out what we need to be heard so we can then receive what we need to hear to get our point across. Maybe that makes sense. And I think that is a deficiency. Like I deal with a lot of women, and a lot of women say, "I need to be heard. I need to be heard." Okay, got it. What do you need to say, bruh? What do
Mm,
you need to say? How do you say it? And then how do you say it and be okay with being vulnerable after you say it? Right? Are you in a place where you know that once you tell whoever you're investing that knowledge in, whoever you're telling, you trust that they're not then going to turn it around and use at a later case down the road? And that's what happens a lot of times with our female counterparts is we can invite them into our words. I think you posted this the other day, Don. We can invest in you our feelings, our X, Y, all those things. But then when you respond to us in a negative fashion, why the hell are we even talking to you? So
yeah.
when that happens, we now have this riot that's going on here. And that's when all those negative transactions begin to occur after the fact because we thought we could invest that into you and we can't. So now I ain't just gonna tell nobody. Because the last time I did it, 18 years ago with my mama, I ain't doing it no more. I'm done. So
Yeah.
because I can't be heard, y'all gonna hear me the way I know to be heard, you know, and
Yeah.
that's what those chains of bondage, become, right? So I think that in this parable that you listed for us on Mark chapter 5, when he came out and told those demons to go out and go on those pigs, well, maybe that is just a subtext for getting the unclean to go with the unclean, right? Because pigs were unclean then, right? So go with the unclean, and then they fled and jumped into the water and drowned and died, and now they're subdued by the water, right? So now he's free. He's broken those chains. He's able to get out what needs to be heard. But I'm not
Very,
complete.
very good point. So I want to take it from there and I want to add to that. Thank you for landing right where I needed you to land, right? And that is after the dude because the dude wilds for the majority of his life. He's in tombs, he's in the mountains. Nobody can control him, right? Jesus shows up and he runs to Jesus and says, yo, I know why you here. Just send me to the pigs. Like I ain't nothing I can do about this. I ain't trying. I don't want no smoke with you. Just throw us into the pigs. Because here's the other thing that sisters need to understand. Brothers, the scripture says, who Jesus said, who in there? He said, legion. And what sisters don't understand, and what a lot of brothers don't understand about themselves, is we're dealing with more than one issue, y'all.
Ooh, you just helped somebody right there,
yeah,
bro.
we're dealing with more than one issue. So I could say, hey, I haven't seen my kids, and everybody focus on that. But it's not that I haven't just seen my kids. I can't find a job, which has got me away from my kids. And I'm trying to deal with that. Then I got a wife, I got a new wife, and my ex trying to keep my kid. I'm trying to deal with that, right? And then on my job that I find, now my boss trying to it's a lot of stuff. It's there are legions of things in us that in our minds that we are attempting to navigate and deal with. And sometimes, ladies, we don't need you to figure it out for us. All we need is a space. Now, here's what we need to know. To Coach's point, right? The last woman who violated me when I shared, if I don't develop the courage to share again, that last person that did me wrong owns me. She owns me, right? So now I can't share with her. I can't share with my new wife. I can't share with my new girl. I can't share with my boys, because in the back of my mind, all on my mind is the person that violated me the last time I shared. And that's why Karen, it's a lot.
So maybe she just has a long-term lease on us. She doesn't own us, because eventually we're going to break it and go through, right?
That's not necessarily true.
Okay.
Because the truth of the matter is, I agree with your language. I see where you're going. But Coach, there are many that don't break it.
Mm-hmm.
There are many who go to their graves hurt.
Yeah.
They didn't break it, right?
Right.
And that's why I say I use such strong language that they own us until you get rid of that. Your point is right. Like at some point, bro, you're going to have to do something to make that thing bow.
Right.
That's what happens with the dude, right? He runs to Jesus, and the scripture says he worshiped him, which simply meant, I'm going to lay all this down. I'd like to have license a bit, Coach. I'm coming back to you. I'd like to have, and then you can toss it to Leroy. I'd like to have license a bit. And it doesn't say that he came to Christ. It said that he came to Jesus. And the reason why that's important is sometimes we need to draw a distinction between the Son of God and the Son of Man. It's enough if we just show up as men, because if we show up as men, that thing that a brother is dealing with will bow. I ain't got to have superhuman strength. I ain't got to have miracle working power. I ain't got to have none of that. All I got to do is show up as a man. And when an issue is confronted by a real man, that shit will bow. It will bow, right? So a part of what happens is we get into this place where we are calling on Jesus. And and that's great. We should. But again, there's and Dwight put it here, right? Dwight said order. He said subdue it. What's up, Cuzzo? Miko, good to see you, girl. Love you. There's more power in masculinity and in manhood that we don't often get credit for. When our children, right, our nieces, our nephews, there's a difference in how they respond to mom and how they respond to dad, how they respond to auntie and how they respond to uncle, right? The difference is there's something that we bring that confronts the demon, where the demon says, I already know when you show up, take Jesus out of it for a moment. Jesus as a man shows up and with authority and with power, right? And says, he just said, hey man, you gotta go. And before he even says it, the demon said, I already know, listen, just send me, I'm unclean, send me to the rest of the unclean folk, right? I love what you just said. That's revelation for me. I'm unclean, send me to the rest of the unclean. Coach, what? Because there are countless brothers that are about to listen to you, and here's what they're saying. I don't feel like I got superhuman power. I don't feel like I can work miracles. And here's what I'm saying. Sometimes their presence alone, bro. They ain't got to be anointed ones. Sometimes the Jesus in the man in them shows up and says, listen, I ain't gonna pray. I ain't got no whole lot of language to do that. You got to go. I come to do what it's what Dwight said. He said domination. He said order. There's something about brothers that bring that energy to a moment that'll shift the moment altogether.
It happens almost every day in here. People asking, they bring their small children in here. As long as they can sit down and be quiet, there's no problem. They come in and they want to sit here, and I do like this: sit down right there. This is what happens. Okay, no, absolutely. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
And they sit down, and the moms or the grandmoms be like, what just happened?
Absolutely.
Right? And the same thing happens, in those pivotal moments in time where we have to confront whatever it is. But as men, we have to have that testicular fortitude to say, okay,
right,
it's stopped, it's over, it's done, it's broken. Right. Let's leave it there. We ain't got to push harder. We ain't got to do nothing else. We don't have to commit violence to have the underlying threat of violence, right?
Absolutely.
There's
Absolutely.
We don't have to do that, right? Just like you said, just being a man in the moment, like even
wait,
whoa,
brothers, this is all we ask. Just be a man in the moment. Just be a man in the moment.
Right.
We don't need a lot from you.
Even walk across the street,
right? Just be a man in that moment.
Just walk. Like I was walking across the street literally last night, and there was two older ladies that had no melanin, but there was a car coming, and so I just stopped. And the car stopped. And the two women looked at me and just walked across the street. They walked by, said thank you, and kept walking. And I stood there until they crossed the street. And it had nothing to do with them being white women. Had nothing to do with the car coming along. Had to do with the fact that I stopped and kept my foot, and that was it. That's all it takes.
Coach, I can't get rid of what you said. This moment requires men. The moment that we're in, this moment that this country is in, I know we're about to elect our first woman president. I'm going to vote for her. I'm going to get as many people as I can to vote for her. But let me tell you this, this moment, a part of what I've been saying to people is, hey, you can't talk bad about the system. No, sir. No, sir. Not on my watch. I'm going to guard her. I'm going to guard her, right? There, but Leroy, what coach said, I'm coming to you now, Leroy, because we're running out of time, and there's another principle I want to talk to both of you about. What coach said has my mind blown. Be a man in the moment. I don't need you to have superhuman power. I don't need you to be a 6'3" Adonis with light skin and green eyes. I don't need that. I just need you to bring your unique value to this moment. And the one thing that they can't take from you is you can bring manhood to this moment. You can bring masculinity to this moment. Leroy, what do you say about what coach that is so strong?
But that's the results you get when you, as you were just saying, when you bring value to the moment, brothers. That's the answer to what is ailing us, whether it's you individually or whether it's us as a community collectively. We're not standing in that moment. You have some brothers that are, that are stepping and saying, you know what, something's got to change. Like Coach was saying, him standing and stopping that car, it was him saying, you know what, no, these
I'm
ladies
bringing
need to get.
manhood to this moment.
I'm gonna make sure that in this moment that these ladies are able to cross the street and get through safely, because if I don't stand here, then there's a likelihood that that car keeps going and something bad could happen. And we have to recognize that even within ourselves, because we've been talking about today, even within ourselves, recognizing all of the rotting that's going on in our head,
Yes.
you've got to stand in yourself and be able to say, you know what? No more. Taking the authority of me first, and then as you take authority of you, then it's your surroundings, those that are around you, those the circumstances that you're encountering, and everything like that. But it all begins with you saying no more. Yeah, I'm standing, what they say, standing 10 toes down on this. I'm not going to take another step. I ain't backing up. I'm going to stand right here, and I am going to be steadfast and unmovable, because I believe in enough of what I'm doing to say that I can't allow anything or anyone else to push what this issue is that needs to be dealt with back. And what will happen is there's another person, and then there's another man, there's another man, and there's another man. And if we all start to stand and do that same thing, whoo-wee,
Bruh,
that becomes something powerful.
so let me get this last principle in, because we're about to run now. Let me get this last principle in, Leroy. You about to run. This is the moment you've been waiting for, Leroy. Before I read the scripture, let me just tell you, this is the moment you've been waiting for. Jesus heals the dude. Jesus, the man, shows up in his manhood. Not Jesus Christ, not the Christ, not the anointed one. The Bible uses words intentionally. When it wants us to recognize him as the Christ, we do so. But this says Jesus showed up. And when Jesus showed up, watch this, coach. The masculinity Jesus walks in, the issue of another brother's got to bow. Because he knows the brother ain't come to play. He said, yeah, I already heard about you. Right? The Bible says that he is now, after the demons have been, after he's addressed his issues, he's sitting, he's clothed, and in his right mind. That's what Coach was just talking about. Sitting, clothed, in your right mind. I don't have time to get into that. Sitting, dressed now, and in his right mind. Right? Here's what happens though, Leroy. He's so grateful to what another man has done. He tells Jesus, he said, yo, I want to come with you. This is what Jesus says. Nah. This is what he said, Leroy. Don't look at the text. Look at me, Leroy. Don't look at the text. Look at me, Leroy. Here's what he says. Go home.
Mhm.
He says, the home that you abandoned is what needs you. More than I need you out here on the road giving a bunch of speeches and talking to a bunch of people and evangelizing. I don't need that right now. I got that. What I need from you is take your tail home, because your home needs a man in this moment. A part of what we've got to recognize is that our society is a result and a reflection of its community. The communities are a reflection of those neighborhoods. Neighborhoods are a reflection of those families. If you want to stabilize the ultimate society, you got to begin with the family, and the stabilizing force in every family is a man. When that man leaves and goes to wild, he out there smoking, drinking, having sex, doing all the things he shouldn't be doing, and then he encounters another man like Walter, he encounters another man like Leroy, he encounters a man like Donald, and we say, hey man, that shit you doing is corny. Like, that's corny for real. You got a wife and you got kids, and you out here at the cigar lounge with a bunch of women around you trying to be a boy when a man is required at home. Right? Leroy, I'm coming to you last, man, because I'm gonna let you have final words on this. Hey, coach, you done started a firestorm. Here's what's necessary. It's the reason why this slogan, rise and reclaim. What's necessary in this moment is a man. I'm not talking about a man with a lot of money, brothers. I'm not talking about that. We can talk about that at another time. I'm simply saying that there is a man required in this moment. And I love the fact that he wants to do all this stuff for community, and all that's great. There's time for that. But before we get there, go home, bro. Reach your wife, reach your kids, reach your friends, reach those people. And then we can talk about these next steps. But we can't talk about that unless and until you're willing to go home.
But watch. But hold on, Leroy, before you jump in. See,
No.
some shit. He really trying to start some shit today. Watch this. The whole world knows how jacked up that dude was.
Yes.
Right? The whole world knows.
Yep.
Yes.
Then the whole world knew that he encountered Jesus.
Yes.
The normal Joe would say, all right, Jesus, I got it. Let me roll. Jesus says, no, go home. But wait, that's not the lesson, right? The lesson is everybody that saw you crazy now sees you healed.
Absolutely.
And you went home.
Absolutely.
So now it is freeing the people who are out in the streets to know that if they come by Jesus one time,
absolutely,
they could heal their home. And see, what Jesus knew is if I can heal the home, I can heal the community. That's the butterfly effect, ain't it? Right? I can fix one small thing and impact everything around it. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. I'll wait.
Bruh. And that's the title of today: Unleash the Beast, Breaking Chains with a Single Encounter. And here's what happens, coach. Because for those of you that remember, if you grew up in the 80s and 90s, 2000s, wait, there's more.
Wait, there's more.
Right? Here's what else happens. The Bible says when they recognized and saw the dude sitting clothed in his right mind, everybody was afraid.
Yeah.
So nobody was afraid when the dude was wilding. But now everybody's afraid
because that was the act, Don. That was the act. That wasn't the real. See, when the real man shows up, that's when the power comes. I can preach that all day long.
Why the veins coming out? Why the veins coming out your forehead?
I ain't gotta act like I'm strong. I ain't gotta act like I'm smart.
Right.
I am strong.
Right.
I am smart.
Right.
It ain't gotta be. I ain't gotta break no chains, but that you falsely put on me. I don't need to have to worry about the things that you're calling me, the things you think I am, because once I encounter who Jesus is, I can then finally break the riot that's in my mind and calm those streets. When those streets are calm, that's
calm those streets. When the Son of Man shows up, Leroy, when the Son of Man shows up, the Son of Man, I'm not talking about the water walker today. I'm not talking about him. I'm not talking about the water walker. I'm not talking about the one who gives sight to them. I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about just a man who shows up and says, hey, get your shit together, man.
Yep.
Get it together. And what the issues, the demons that dude was fighting with one single encounter from a dude. That's why our society's afraid. That's why our society's afraid.
They're afraid of us in particular.
They're afraid of us.
Because they see the acting going on in them streets. And they know that if enough, come on, watch this. They see if enough brothers get like Don, get like Leroy.
Absolutely.
They see that the movement will cause the women and our children to follow us. And then they'll see the bad part. Because the bad part is, we don't fucking need you. We can do our shit ourselves.
Absolutely.
Watch. The blueprint's already laid. Absolutely. As any Asian American, who they voted for? Who said we vote?
Wow.
Do they care? Or do they just generate $520,000 per family in wealth? Watch this. The top 1% of Americans, 350,000. The top 1% of Asians, 550. But there's levels to this.
Yeah.
We have to be self-reliant. We have to build our communities, and that starts always with the man.
Always. There's never been a time where God addressed or redressed an issue.
Go ahead, preach it.
Without doing it first through a man.
Preach it.
It just doesn't happen. There's nowhere in the Bible where he starts with a woman. Sisters, I love y'all. I love y'all.
This is my example. You preaching my story, Donald.
Yes.
You preaching my story because you know where I'm going. You know where I'm at.
Yes. So we have to make sure that we understand the power of a man stepping in the room. Leroy, I'm coming to you, man, and then I'll bring it home. I'll close it all out.
Here's the thing, brothers, and this is what I say throughout Jesus's ministry. And it has to do with every encounter that he has. And this is what we're talking about today. There's an encounter that this man who was struggling, didn't have his life together, who couldn't figure out how to get rid of these legions. Because I think is it the King James or the NIV, it says, I'm legion.
Yes.
Because there's many inside of me.
There's a whole lot in here. Absolutely.
There's a whole lot in here. And we said it at the beginning. I don't know how to unpack it. I don't know how to get rid of it. I don't know how to deal with it. I'm struggling with it. But there was a man that said, I gotta wait for you to deal with it. I'm gonna show you how to deal with it. I'm gonna show you how to get your mind right. I'm gonna show you how to be upright, be clothed, and in your right mind. But you got to be willing to. I'm going to take those things that you don't know how to deal with, give you the ability to deal with them, and those things that you deal with, they go away. They go away because you then understand how to deal with them. And he said, I don't want you to come with me. This ain't no dog and pony show. I'm not taking you out. I'm not showing you like a circus. Look what I did. Look what I've done. I want you to go back to the family that you destroyed. And I want you to fix it. And you can now fix it because you're in your right mind. And you had the ability to be able to deal with who you were. And now you have the ability to deal with the issues that you need to deal with in your family home. And like y'all said, everybody knows it. Everybody knows that you were out of order. And then when they see your house in order, they can't do nothing but say, man, what was that all about? He had an encounter with Jesus, and now his family is in order. And I say this all the time, y'all, fellas. And this is why I'm so passionate, Donald, about JNF. When I talk about that, it's about the encounter. It's about being better after the encounter than you were before the encounter. Before before Legion encountered God, he was in all kinds of chaos, didn't know what to do. Once he had that encounter, it became order for him. He became in his right mind. He became understanding of what it was that he needed to do and his assignment to do. All because of that encounter.
An encounter.
It changed his life.
An encounter. Dwight says,
Yes.
act in authority and have dominion. Act in authority, have dominion. Crystal Fendi Styles Clark, what's happening? Are you on a boat? Or are you on your way on your boat? That girl doing a lot. I've been, Coach, we'll get out of here, man. But I've been doing a lot of soul searching, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And just about the call of Remain, the assignment of Remain. My own personal, you guys will see that the other day I asked on social media, hey guys, describe me in one word. It wasn't a normal thing like other people do, just trying to see how people think of them. I was genuinely trying to see if there was a gap between who I know myself to be and who I show up as in the marketplace, right? And I did some data research after I compiled all of the work, Coach, and I put all that work together, did some study, and there is a consistent theme with Donald Morton. And that consistent theme is, you brought it up, Coach, transformational. That out of everything everybody said, that my character, my brand is I'm a transformational figure. So then I started thinking about who are transformational figures, the Nelson Mandelas of the world, the Martin Kings of the world, the Malcolm X's of the world, the Rosa Parks of the world, the Fannie Lou Hamers of the world, right? I ain't called to change nobody. I'm called to radically shift who a dude is. So that, because what we saw in that story, Coach, wasn't change.
Definitely transformation.
It's transformation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Woo, there's a difference.
Change is short-lived.
Yeah.
Any brother,
Yes,
and
sir.
this is, sisters, y'all need to hear this, right? Any brother, don't meet a brother who say, I'll change for you, because that change is short-lived. What he's saying is, I'll make an adjustment until.
Until. Help my front porch, sir. Help my front porch, sir.
Until. But transformation is this radical shift in a man's character.
Don't the Bible say be ye transformed?
Be
It don't
transformed.
say be
changed.
Yes, sir.
Be you transformed.
By the renewing of your
yes,
mind.
sir. By the
That's what it
renewing
said,
of
right?
your mind.
This internal mechanism that shifts.
Stop
Yes,
trying to
sir.
make me a preacher, Donald. I ain't a preacher.
Right. And so what I'm asking, that's again, Coach, why I changed the name of Leroy's just finding out I just changed the name of the gala, right? Because I want the gala to be a moment that announces to the world there's a shift happening.
Yeah.
And there's something about rise and reclaim that tells a story. Just the two words that brothers understand. It's a call to action. Right? And I want Atlanta to know. I want Atlanta proper to know. I want Georgia, Tennessee, right? Alabama. I want every place, Delaware, Florida. I want every place to know that beginning with this work and Remain, we rise and reclaim. We rise and reclaim. And I asked God, I said, what if the sisters don't like the word reclaim? He said, so what? He said, there are a number of sisters who have been waiting for you to reclaim, who are tired.
That's exactly what they said. That's exactly what they said. We tired. Come reclaim you.
I'd be willing to bet. I'd lay it all on the line that says they're all waiting to be reclaimed.
Mm-hmm.
Because all women are waiting. All of our women are being waited. I'd be willing to bet that if you could peel back their brain and peel back the I'm independent, I'm this, I'm that, peel back all those masculine qualities out of their mind, right inside it says, I can't wait for my man to find me.
Ooh, coach.
But we ain't talking about that right now. Wait. But watch this.
Maybe that's next week.
You can't find her if you ain't clear here.
That's right.
You can't find the key to get to her if you can't find here first.
Crystal says, say it again for the sisters that didn't hear you the first time. I remember when I first started Remain, I remember talking to a bunch of sisters that I trusted, right? Mm-hmm. And one sister said to me, Donald, please don't think we are in this position because we want to be.
Yeah.
We're not doing all this because we want to do it. We're doing it because we have to do it. We don't have a choice. The moment you guys step up and step in, we know what to do.
Yep. Watch this, because she's a whole doctor, runs a whole department. But when I walk in the house, honey, what do you need?
Bruh.
She could be sick. She could be tired. She could have worked almost as many hours as me. It don't matter. Honey, what do you need?
Wow.
And my answer is always the same. Whatever it is you need, sweetheart.
Show us how to do it, coach. Look, coach. Show us how to do it. Let me look in the whatever you need, sweetheart.
But no, man, it's so confrontational between us in our relationships with our friends, with our family, and with our women require us to keep our foot, right? If we are unable to respond to adversity with a stiff spine, then what the good are we?
Yeah.
If we're unable to deal with the adversity and stand in the fire and deal with it, what good are we? If you can't confront those demons, if we can't confront those demons, we lose. I appreciate you, Crystal Finney Styles Clark. I appreciate you.
Where's your book at, coach? Write it down for the brothers.
Right. Because watch this. Could any other man save Jesus have gotten those demons to leave and go into those pigs? They tried. They failed because they were afraid of the act.
Yeah.
He might act out.
Yeah.
He might show off.
They didn't want the consequences of him acting out. And like Donald said, they already knew. They saw him coming.
Yeah.
They was like, oh, no, here he comes.
That's a real man coming. That's a real man that's coming.
Omar coming. Those in Baltimore, y'all know Omar coming. That's what that was.
No, man, I am super passionate about this one, man. It's because it's my story in my gym, right?
Yes.
Because the women come here broken.
Yes.
Whether it's their own tragedy, whatever, but they're in search of someone who's going to say, "No, you good enough, but now you need to get to work." Yeah. So they know when they come here, you can vent, you can cry, but you're still going to lift these weights. Yeah. There is structure. Yeah. I'm not saying to be a joke. I'm saying because I'm dead serious, right? Yeah. There is structure here.
But that's what I want to end on, Coach. And we got to go. But that's what I want to end on, brothers. And this isn't mine. This isn't mine. What I'm about to say is not mine. What I'm about to say is Trip Fontaine's. Trip Fontaine on Instagram.
That's a deep brother. That's a deep brother.
That brother said this.
Yeah.
Sisters, if all you're looking for to determine whether or not a man can provide is money, then you have a very limited view of what provision is.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
He said
sir.
provision is exactly what you
Yep.
just said, Coach. He said provision is structure.
Sure.
It's
Yep.
order. When a man steps into your world, when a male steps into the Remain world, the first thing we provide him is a system, a structure, a science that if you do this, and this, your outcomes are automatic. So for sisters, you don't have a money problem, you got an order problem.
Yep.
And when that brother steps in, he's bringing into your world a sense of order. And the very thing that you don't know you need is the very thing you're going to fight against. You're not going to like it. He's going to say, no, we're not doing that. And initially, you've been by yourself. You're like, nigga, I'm going to do whatever. What you talking about? No, right? Initially, there's going to be a pushback. But if you're a real woman of God, for real, and you got a relationship with Spirit, then Spirit will check you like, no, you asked for this. This is what you've been praying for. Lord, send me a man. But when he sends a man, he's sending order.
Yep.
He's sending structure, right? Because let all things be done decently and in order. Stop right there with that, Doc. Log off and let us resonate with that. Food for thought. Yes, he is sending order. And for every brother that's trying to buy your way into a relationship, that's why you flash money up front. You talk money up front. You're a little boy. You're a little boy, my guy. You flashing money up front. Because here's how we know. I used to play basketball, right, Coach? And when I was a little boy, Coach, I could listen. All you gotta do is ask about me. I could play the game.
You was a professional tailback on the basketball team, weren't you? You played tailback, didn't you?
Tailback. I don't know.
Coach, can I get in? No, get your tail back.
No, I was a point guard above point guards.
Okay.
Right? And I was immature.
Sure.
So I always kept a ball with me. Play with my ball. I got next. If I lose and you don't pick me up, I'm taking my ball. I'm going home with my ball, right? This is how we know little boys that meet women. Because the moment you lead with money and then she don't give you what you need, then you take your money and you go home. You're a little boy. You're a little boy. Instead of showing up as a man, bringing structure and order, and not being owned by the coochie. See, most brothers are owned by the coochie. Like if she withhold the coochie and you don't want to show up, you don't want to be a man, you don't feel like you can tell her what to do because man, keep the coochie. A real man is going to show up, step up, lean in, provide order to an environment. Whether or not she is manipulative in holding back sex is not the issue. You have an assignment. Jesus said, go home. Go home and take order with you. Go home and take structure with you. Call that, what is it? What is it? They say it when every meeting, I call this meeting to order.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the language, brothers, you need to read, that you need to have going home. I call this meeting to order.
Ladies, he just gave you the cheat code. If he ain't coming with decency and order, hey, yeah, that's a boy, not a man.
Absolutely.
If he isn't bringing structure, if you can't see structure in him,
tell me about submit again, Donald. What does submit mean?
Huh?
What does submit mean?
Get under that mission.
Oh, okay.
Get under that mission. If he ain't got no mission, if he ain't got no vision, if he ain't got no assignment, if he don't know where he's going, don't you? And you decide that you still want to sleep with him. Oh, okay. I mean, do you? I ain't mad at you. But don't come to me and say, I don't understand what happened. You understand what happened.
Don't ask us to fix them.
You thought that magic twinkle could change him. And
Yep.
he'll change for 3 months until somebody else's magic twinkle is better than your
brighter.
magic. So I hope you look at what Crystal said. Crystal said, sheesh. Yeah.
Yeah, real talk.
Crystal said, I'm quick with it, Leroy. I'll tell her to quit. Boy, bye. And she will. Yeah, absolutely. So I hope that you guys heard us today. It's time to go home, brothers. We rise and we reclaim. If you are, for every sister who supports dudes rising and reclaiming, we really need sisters at the gala. We need brothers at the gala. The gala is not just a fun time to sit down and eat. We got work to do. We're unveiling an agenda. We've got Dr. Jamal Harrison Bryan is coming to speak for us. We've got art that is being displayed and auctioned by national and local artists here in Atlanta. It's going to be crazy. I changed the name though, because I want you to know what it's about. We rising and reclaiming. We getting up, leaning in. And I love what Coach said. It just reminded me, he said, man, I'd be willing to bet. They want us to rise and reclaim. Crystal agreed. She said the same thing. Crystal said, I have to share this life. Sisters need to hear this message. Thanks, brothers. Thank you, Crystal. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I need every single person to grab your ticket. And not only do I need you to grab your ticket, listen to me. I want you to grab a table. The table is only 8 seats. And if you grab a table, pay for 7 seats, your ticket is free. Your ticket is absolutely free. We want to pack it out with a bunch of elected officials will be there. Important figures will be there. We can't name them, but a bunch of people will be there testifying to the fact that it's time to rise and reclaim. So I need each of you to go to remangala.com, get your tickets, purchase a table, purchase VIP, whatever you got to do. But when that dude was clothed and in his right mind, Jesus said, man, don't worry about me. Leroy said, this ain't no dog and pony show. Don't worry about me. I'm good. Take your tail home and bring your manhood to the moment. God, dog. Hey, y'all, I love and respect y'all. Coach, good hanging out with you again today, man. Listen to me, y'all. There is no Grown Man Podcast for the next several weeks. I am reimagining what the Grown Man Podcast really needs to look like. I am working with a podcast coach along with our branding agency, and I need to really figure out what it's going to look like. So there's no Grown Man Podcast tomorrow, the following Monday, the Monday after that. We will make an announcement and have a relaunch when it's time for us to relaunch the Grown Man Podcast. So I know that is shocking to hear from many of you, but in order to be effective, you're going to have to every now and then be agile enough to pivot and to really know what you need to do, how you need to do it so you can remain effective and efficient. And that is what we are doing here at Remand. So, but you can go get your ticket for the gala. You can sow a seed. If you are a man and you are not inside the Remand community, go to www.remandcommunity.com, www.remandcommunity.com. Show up, hang out. We got so much great stuff that's happening inside there, giveaways, trainings. We just did a Leroy 30 seconds, man. Will you talk about that monumental branding training that just happened on this past Thursday?
All I can say is if you missed it, you missed it. You got to join. You got to join Remain in order to be able to get that because it ain't available nowhere. This brother Levon dropped, as Jay-Z said, he gave you $1 million worth
Yes,
of knowledge.
Yes, bro.
For free inside there.
Yes,
it ain't even it wasn't even $9.99.
Yes,
like Jay-Z said.
Yes,
Like,
bro.
I mean, he talked about things that some of the things that I knew already, but then he added to what I hadn't even thought about. I was like, for real?
Yeah. Leroy, this is what you can hear throughout the entire training. Leroy says this. That's crazy. That's like, crazy.
But it was, like I said, if you missed it, you missed it. It's in the vault now. So in order to get it, you can't. You in order to be able to get it out of the vault, you got to join in.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely. Crystal said, "I need you to take that hoodie down, sir." Why, Crystal? What's wrong with my hoodie? Good to see y'all.
Wait, I got a matching hat for Leroy.
You ain't right, coach. You are not right, coach. You are not right, coach.
It matches your cup $35, bro.
That's hilarious.
Here's the deal.
You are not right,
I will pay you $35 to wear it when you drink from your cup. As long as it's on camera on Sundays.
Let me let y'all go. It's Gary go left. I promise you, it's Gary go left. I love and respect y'all. We will see y'all real soon. Peace.
Later.
The Remand Project is a coaching and consulting firm specializing in personal and leadership development for adult Black males, seeking to break the vicious cycle of missed potential so that they themselves transform their personal lives, their sense of leadership to their families, and their legacies that they want to leave for business and culture. We destroy this cycle on two fronts. We confront both the institution and the individual. We address the institution because, according to the statistics, Black males are under assault and are targeted for extinction in ways that their white counterparts are not. We are over-incarcerated and under-educated. There are systems in place, political systems, media systems, and religious systems that serve as intentional, or some say unintentional, barriers to the Black male's advancement. As a result, we work to raise public awareness about issues confronting Black males, promote healthy and positive images about Black males, curate spaces to share information and resources about programs, services, and support for Black males, support knowledge creation and dissemination around these issues, and provide a forum for Black males to both speak and act for themselves. We address the individual Black male because we cannot avoid personal responsibility. We are now overmothered and underfathered. We make bad social choices, and we avoid responsibility for getting ourselves out from under the social plight that we face. We will develop the moral compass and character necessary to face the adverse realities that are faced in everyday life. We live by the premise that even that which is not our fault is still our responsibility. In 2019, we answered the call to transform the culture one man at a time. Our society, our families, and men in particular, are in a state of crisis. And the goal of the Remand Project is to curate the largest, strongest, and dopest community of Black males in the entire world. We then create awareness and action against the institutional and the individual impediments that exist against the foundation of our culture and overall society, which is the black male.